Sweden, known as the land of Ikea and Köttbullar, but also endless forests, thousands of islands, and apparently a slight obsession with cinnamon buns. From Stockholm to Gothenburg, this country is full of surprises. And as a German and American, there were a few culture shocks for us as well.
Sweden's love of candy.
Okay, so nobody told us this before we went to Sweden. The Swedes are absolutely obsessed with candy.
Yeah.
We thought maybe it's just something you get at a gas station or a corner store. Nope. Every single grocery store we walked in had aisles, yes, aisles of candy.
Yeah.
Even the tiny city 7-Eleven looked like Willy Wonka had moved in.
And get this, Sweden's actually the #1 consumer of candy per capita in the world. So if you've got a sweet tooth, maybe forget Disneyland, just book a flight to Stockholm.
Driving in Sweden. Vroom, 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 vroom.
So here's the thing, driving in Sweden is actually super chill. People stick to moderate speeds, nobody's flying past you at like 130 miles per hour like they do in Germany. It is calm, it is relaxed, like almost too relaxed. And yes, they have the occasional speed camera, but here's the funny part, they actually warn you about them. Like a whole minute before the camera, you get a sign basically saying, hey buddy, slow down or smile for the photo. I kind of appreciate that honesty.
So polite. But getting to Sweden, oh, that's the expensive part. You either pay a steep bridge toll or hop on a very pricey ferry. So yeah, before you even hit the roads in Sweden, your wallet is already crying. We talk more about cost and price of things in our behind the scenes Patreon videos, so check those out if you're interested.
Okay, also gas stations, totally different vibe than in Germany. Credit card goes in and just like in the US, it blocks a higher amount of money, like $150 before you pump your gas, which makes the average German like me a little bit nervous. But it works fine and it just bills you the amount in the end that you actually pumped for. So pretty normal for US citizens, but not so normal for many Europeans.
Yeah, and then there are roundabouts. Oh boy, not just normal ones. We're talking about double lane roundabouts, stress level high if you're not used to it. It's like a test of courage every time you enter. One wrong move and you feel like you've accidentally joined the Swedish NASCAR. It's a little intense. I'm a passenger princess though, so it was all filled.
It can be stressful. Alcohol in Sweden.
Okay, so this one really caught us off guard. Here's the deal. Anything stronger than 3.5%, you can't just grab at a grocery store. Nope. You have to go to a magical state-run liquor store called Systembolaget.
Systembolaget?
Systembolaget. I don't know if that's right. By the way, it looks more or less like a John Deere tractor shop to me and not somewhere where you would buy wine and beer.
Yeah, and once you're inside, brace yourself because the prices are wild. In Germany, you can grab a cheap bottle of wine for like 2 or 3 euros. In Sweden, the cheapest one we saw there was around like 8 or 9 euros. And that's not any kind of fancy date night wine, that is the budget option.
It was bottom of the shelf, so expensive. And remember, Systembolaget is not open 24/7. They are closed on Sundays and their Saturdays have limited hours, so plan ahead or you might find yourself on a dry weekend.
Yeah, let's just say it's really expensive to be an alcoholic in Sweden.
English in Sweden.
Okay, this one really blew us away. The English level spoken in Sweden is like next level, like one of the highest in Europe. Honestly, almost everyone we spoke to was just fluent in English. Just take a look at this map here. And here's my little take on it. I'm German, I live in Europe, and Europe is this crazy patchwork of countries, languages, and cultures. Borders, sometimes they exist, sometimes they don't, like most of the time they don't. So how do you actually communicate across all of that? And usually the answer to that is English. And in Sweden, just like in the Netherlands or Denmark, it works very well. Everyone's just effortlessly fluent. Very nice compared to some southern countries. Spain.
And random little fact, sometimes I game on the EU servers and if I hop into an English-speaking public lobby, almost always there's a Swede in there. Germans, no, they stick to the German lobbies. Russians, no, they stick to their own lobbies. French, Spanish, the same. But Swedes, they're everywhere in online gaming and it's like they silently dominated the English-speaking EU servers. Honestly, it makes sense now. They've got the English game mastered too.
Yeah, to be honest, now that I think about it, I think Swedish people, Danish people, like Like they speak almost better English than a lot of people in the UK or the US.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like Dax?
I want a caravan for me, ma. Cash? What cash?
Here's something that really surprised us. During our entire time in Sweden, we did not need to withdraw a single Swedish crown. Yeah, Sweden is not part of the Eurozone and has its own currency, but we barely even noticed that the currency existed.
Yeah.
Everywhere we went, everything was digital. Parking, you pay on your phone by app. Restaurants, you tap or scan something. Booking accommodations, you know, card only, phone only. Honestly, exchanging money felt like a thing from the Stone Ages that we didn't have to do a single time. Also, no worrying about exchange rates if you use a card without foreign transaction fees.
Yeah.
No hunting for ATMs, no awkward, do you accept euros? Conversations. Sweden's basically living in the future and is so nice and so hassle-free the way it is.
Yeah, I agree. Fika and food.
Fika and Kaka.
Okay, so before we even looked into Swedish food, I honestly only probably knew köttbullar and surströmming, thanks to Ikea and YouTube videos. But going there and trying dishes like Räkmacka and Smörgåstårta, wow. Pleasantly surprised is an understatement. Also, if you're into seafood, Sweden's got you covered. But be aware, it's on the pricier side for European standards.
Yeah, true. And I have to say, I love that Sweden has kebab pizza everywhere. It almost became Sweden's national dish and just came in a close second behind the köttbullar. But people in the comments love to point out that, what do you mean? Germany also has kebab pizza. And yeah, it does. But you know, a dish's availability is usually not limited by country borders.
And it's nice to try where it's invented.
Yeah, and kebab pizza was invented in Sweden, and this version we had with French fries on top was amazing and also very rare in Germany. So seeing this pizza being that popular in Sweden was just a fun little positive culture shock.
Yeah, and now Fika. Oh my gosh, I love Germany's Kaffee und Kuchen culture. Probably the reason I gained half a wardrobe size my first year I lived in Germany. So imagine my happiness when I found out that Sweden has Fika. It's an intentional coffee break with a sweet treat like a cinnamon bun stop. We were on an intense hike in our trekking gear when all of a sudden Phil's brother's girlfriend, who is Swedish, just casually says, "Okay, it's time for a cinnamon bun." We stopped, sat down, sipped coffee, and ate cinnamon buns. I loved it. A woman after my own heart. I just wish they called it coffee and cookie time. So like Kaffee und Kaka. I just think that sounds funnier.
All right. Beaches and nature. So we spent some time outdoors in Sweden and we did some hikes. And outdoor activities are just the thing to do in Sweden. And wow, the country makes it really easy. Surprisingly, you are allowed to camp pretty much everywhere, in the countryside or even on private properties, as long as somebody's house is not in line of sight. So no stressing about trespassing, just pure nature. It felt surprisingly safe and super freeing.
Yeah, coming from the US, I love the variety there, and Sweden has it as well. From like beaches to lakes to forests, beautiful nature just everywhere. Or at least a short drive outside of cities.
Yeah, although the first part of our drive from Malmö to Gothenburg was a bit underwhelming, it was a bit flat and lots of farmland and forest left and right, so no complaining, just very flat. But here's a fun twist. The coastline is amazing and Sweden has over 267,000 islands. More than any other country in the world, actually. That's basically an island adventure waiting to happen wherever you reach the coastline.
I wonder if anyone's visited all of Sweden's islands. You think?
No.
Maybe.
Some of them must be very small. One thing I do miss though, it's these little shops like in Germany, you know? Sometimes you just need a Bratwurst stand or a beer garden to ruin the perfect view of nature. Priorities, right?
Yeah, priorities.
Ja, wo ist denn hier das Wirtshaus? Hier gibt's ja gar kein Wirtshaus. Was machen wir denn?
And before we move on to the next culture shock, we ask you to please like the video and subscribe for more videos around the world.
Cheese shrimp paste? Is that real? What?
And if you want to further support us, you can do that on patreon.com/DNNphil, where we make additional monthly videos for certain tiers. And a shout out to our family tier patrons: Ethan Mitchell, Heather Kuffner, Hessen Metro, Tarek Malkash, Ushi Izart, Lee Lim, Jessica Sarenzak, Debbie and Ray Gordon, Jamie DeVries, Parker Dopke, Michelle Asbell, and Bill and Chris. Thank you!
How few people there are. Sweden has about 10.5 million people spread over a huge landmass. And let me tell you, it really shows. We knew that going in, but we were still very surprised by how empty it felt at times.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Hiking through forests on a Sunday and seeing, wait for it, 4 people. 4 total people.
Yeah.
It was like having the nature all to ourselves. Even in supermarkets, there's so much space, you could probably do kart races down the aisles side by side.
Yeah.
Back in Germany, even in a small town of like a population of 10,000 people, the supermarkets feel like Times Square at rush hour. It's so busy. And honestly, the sparse population explains a lot, like why driving is so chill. You can actually enjoy the scenery instead of battling through traffic the entire way.
The Swedish people.
Speaking of the people themselves, Swedes are, how do I put this, refreshingly reserved, I think. At first glance, they like to keep to themselves minimal small talk and not a ton of like outward affection, I say. They don't seem super eager to help right away either. It's very much you just do your own thing and I'll do mine.
Yeah, and I think even Germany has a bit of that reputation already, but going to Scandinavia, even for me, they take it to a new level.
That's funny.
But yeah, even how they grade each other is hilarious. A simple hey is like a casual friendly, how's it going, how you doing? But if you say hey, it suddenly is a polite way of signaling, I don't really want to talk to you any further. Like, only in Sweden, I guess.
Yeah. But here's the funny part. Once you break the ice, they're genuinely friendly and thoughtful. The first layer is serious and introverted, and underneath, warm, friendly, kind. It's like peeling an onion, except instead of tears, you get Fika invites.
I wish. Also, just to contradict all of what we just said, we also met these guys.
Are you YouTube too? Yeah, we're from Sweden. We're from Gothenburg.
Hey,
Yeah.
what is the best thing you can eat in Gothenburg?
Gothenburg, Hasselssons, fish and chips.
Supermarkets, aka grocery stores.
Yeah, we were actually shocked by these supermarkets in Sweden, in kind of a good way. At first glance, they feel way more American than German to me. Massive stores like ICA or City Gross feel like Walmart or Target, and there are huge spaces between the aisles, and it's almost eerily empty at times, just like in the US. You look around and think, does this really make sense for only like 10 million people? But yes, it exists and somehow it works.
Yeah, the selection is insane. Everything comes in big quantities and varieties. It's like the store is saying, yes, you may only be 4 people in this aisle, but you deserve 27 types of dip.
Yeah.
This is a bit random, but there's even dog cages outside where you can safely leave your dog while you shop. Only in Sweden.
Yeah, as a German, I'll admit it, I was a little jealous. Wide aisles, big choices, quirky product packaging, like all these stuff in tubes and so on. It's kind of a dream, like it's nice. But overall, shopping in Sweden feels spacious, it feels relaxed and kind of futuristic or apocalyptic because of the missing people. It's like Walking Dead sometimes. But yeah, I really enjoyed the experience.
Yeah.
Bonus point. We were really hoping to see an elk, but we didn't. A bit disappointed in that. Might have to come back.
Yeah, very sad. Okay, so most of these are lighthearted and quick, immediate things we noticed that are different just visiting for the first time. Obviously, if we lived in Sweden, there might be more serious differences like work culture or even the dark winter time with no sunlight. But let us know what surprised you about Sweden or another country you visited.
All right, that's it.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
This huge aisle is do your own candy mix, basically. How crazy is that? That's awesome.
Their side things look like ducks. How cute.
Oh, dude, I didn't even recognize.
Yeah.
Geese.